During the 1970s, the world was changing. There was an oil crisis. The United States went into recession, and Japan grew as a major world power. People started talking about the environment. Many consider these years as the age of the individual. However, this period is important for others as well. The gamers. Video games, a new form of electronic entertainment, were emerging. Prior to the idea of video games, people were playing classic card games such as bridge, poker, hearts, and a variety of other games like pool, chess, and other forms of traditional entertainment. Electronic games, also called computer games or video games, are interactive games operated by electronic circuitry. The machines, or platforms as they are called, on which electronic games are played, include general-purpose shared and personal computers, arcade consoles, video consoles connected to home television sets, handheld game machines, and mobile devices such as cellular phones and tablets. The idea of playing games on computers is almost as old as the computer itself. Claude Shannon, a mathematician and engineer, proposed in 1950 that computers could be programmed to play chess. Many computer scientists were working closely in the artificial intelligence field. One of the most popular video game consoles was also the one that started it all. It was the Atari console. Atari, from the Japanese word meaning to hit the target, emerged in 1972 as the largest company producing arcade games. This was the beginning of a great revolution in the sector, giving rise to a new niche industry. The entertainment world would remain forever changed. In 1972, Bushnell, Dabney, and Alcorn founded the Atari Corporation. Bushnell asked Alcorn to design a simple game based on ping pong. This popular game was called Pong. Atari had to clear a legal obstacle posed by the Magnavox company's hold on a patent for video games. However, Atari manufactured numerous arcade consoles, thus creating the coin-operated game industry and achieving such success that it drew competitors into its new business space, the electronic game arcade, which became perhaps the main source for innovative electronic games well into the 1980s.
Computers and arcades were not the only sources of inspiration for early electronic games. Television itself was a main fountain of creativity. Ralph Baer, a TV engineer and manager, started developing a technology and design in the 1960s, specifically for the television. Baer was able to display and have the ability to control movement on the screen with dots, called Fox and Hounds. Atari partnered with Sears Roebuck to manufacture and distribute this early Pong game to the home.
Atari's first game console, called the 2600 VCS, or Video Computer System, led to a new generation of consoles that used programmable ROM cartridges for distribution and storage of game software. These systems were programmable in the sense that different game cartridges could be inserted into special slots, a technical step that encouraged the separation of game development from hardware design. This began a new era in home gaming systems and led to a tidal wave of future innovation, inspiring new companies to produce better consoles and games. While Atari emerged as a founding father of today's consumer video game industry, it is no longer a competitor in the marketplace. Over the past 40 years, Atari became one of the most iconic and recognized brands around the world, responsible for mainstreaming video games with blockbuster franchises and technological progress. Since its incorporation in 1972, Atari has existed in many different forms. In 1984, Atari became the Atari Corporation, who released the Atari computer and other game consoles with it. The Atari Corporation later became a division of Hasbro and eventually changed hands again when Infogrames took over Hasbro Interactive. On January 21, 2013, the U.S. division of Atari filed for a corporate bankruptcy. While a sad day for many, this marks the historic end of a legacy, one that will forever live in the hearts and minds of fellow gamers across the world, never to be forgotten.